ᛗᚩᚾᚪᚋᚶ. That's the old batch, that you can tell. That's got some power to it. Good afternoon, everybody. I am ᛗᚩᚾᚪᚋ᚞ᚪᚷ. I am the hailing wayman of Woden's Earth, the ancestral hall, and I'm making this video for you today from the Heath of Scaife in ᛗᚩᚾᚪᚋᚏ, the West Thirding of Yorkshire. Okay, I apologise. I didn't get this ready to come out this morning. It's been a weird week, and so I'm actually doing it on Monarsdag, which is when the post's meant to be done, in it. So I have got some notes, ladies and gents, because I don't want to lose my thread on this, because we're going to be going into some historical stuff here. But first and foremost, I would like to just point out that ᛗ, the Guiding Star issue 2, is now back from the printers. It will be going out first of all to kinsfolk, then to people who have always supported me. So we know ᛗᚪᚪᚋ, Ricky, and yeah, people who normally get it. And then I've got some people at work who are wanting the second copy as well, but I've got a few of them. And then quite a lot will be going out on PDF again. So it's not going to come straight out, guys. I'm on sick at the moment. I'm still waiting for results of my MRI scan, and at points I can barely walk. And I have now got an X-ray booked for this arm, because ever since the solstice, when me and Engist decided to fall over and cuddle, I've thought it's possibly fractured. Now the doctor's hoping it's not a fracture, but they're just going to do an investigatory thing on it anyway. So anyway, I'm off for a week, so money's a little bit tighter. So these issues will come out as soon as I can get them to you. Okay, folks, I know you understand. All right, searching for the Anglo-Saxon kings of England. This is a massive subject to me. It's and it's something for the magazine that I'd started wanting to do, and so I have. And there's a page on an early Anglo-Saxon king in there. I was gonna show it you, but I don't want to, because I don't want to tell you which one it is. I'll probably bugger up in video now and tell you. Yeah, but I'm starting looking at the Anglo-Saxon kings, because when you look at it generally, historically, when I was studying the king I was looking into for issue 2, I came across so many claims and counterclaims of existence, or semi-mythical existence. So it's like, this historian says he existed, this one says he didn't, and blah blah blah. And it's just ridiculous that the historians still can't basically get their heads together and say this is right or that's right. They've got one job, to study history. They get paid well for it, and they're just not doing it, are they? So we need to decide what we believe as Englishmen, as Anglo-Saxons, because the historians are not agreeing on what colour poo is, are they? Right? So this is why I'm starting looking further and further into it for myself, so I can try and decipher some of it. I'm not a trained historian, but it's not rocket science, I'm sorry. You look at the evidence, and based on the evidence, you make a decision. And if someone or something is tested so many times, whether there's any physical evidence of that individual or that thing, it doesn't matter. To me, it's, is there some evidence that this person existed when it comes to kings? So I've got it back. So it's like ᚗᚯᚪᚋᚏ, I believe was East Anglian to start with, but took over Mercia, and by the end of his reign he had quite a big kingdom. He was the first king of England for well, or at least the first Anglo-Saxon king in the genealogies. However, some historians still see him as semi-mythical, as though he don't exist. But his old genealogy, his family line is so attested, right? They can't even agree whether he was born in Denmark or Germany. You know, so they're not doing a right good job out of these historians, so let's do it for ourselves. Then we look at people like Hengest and Horsa. Hengest mainly, because Hengest is the one in it. Horses is his sidekick brother, who doesn't get a lot of recognition because we know very little about him. We know very little about Hengest. Circa 555 is kind of at his most fierce, where he should be seen as a king. But there's still a dispute with most historians as to whether or not Hengest and Horsa even ever existed. Okay, the lack of evidence proves nothing, right? I mean, look at it. Until Sutton Hoo, the England was resigned to being the Dark Ages during the Anglo-Saxon period. No one cared. There was no evidence. No one wanted to look. No one wanted to waste the time. No one wanted to give us back what is rightfully ours. That history, that heritage of being Englishmen and knowing whence we came from and who we come from. Okay. There are many, many attestations of Ickle and Hengist. Even Bede attests Hengist, and he's accepted as one of the foremost authorities where they've gleaned so much historical information from. So why can't they accept that someone like Hengist would have existed? Right? Why is he so fiercely contested? And I'm sorry, why is he not listed in the genealogies of all the kings of England? Because there's no way that someone like Hengist was going to be second to someone else, was there, by what we do know of him. There's even a new train of thought I came across on, I'm watching lots of videos on YouTube about kings of England and stuff like this. And again, it's only what that person has managed to dig up, so, but you can learn a lot. And it's basically, like, this new train of thought is that they're more like mythical twins like Romulus and Remus, and I just don't accept this whatsoever. There's absolutely no evidence whatsoever or attestations of being such. At least they're attested as being kings or warlords, but they're not attested as being these divine mythical twins, are they? So it's absolute nonsense. I cannot see why, because kings of England already existed. We already had like many little kings in the epitracy of the Seven Kingdoms, and I really don't see why Hengist should not have been listed among them. It's a frustration that I still see as a contest between historians of whether someone existed. I don't know. Anyway, let's move on. Right, let's jump back to Sutton Hoo. Right, because once Sutton Hoo was unearthed, I know there's been more before after this, but Sutton Hoo is the crux, isn't it? Once they found the remains of that burial ship, 2 mounds of it is but the main one is where the history comes from. In my mind, there's only one king that was a big enough person to have commanded such a burial, right? And that's got to be Raedwald. Okay, he was a Bretwalda. He was Bretwalda, a Britain king. So king of all the other Saxon kings. They all bowed to him. They all paid homage to him, paid money to him, right? So don't tell me that anybody else around his area got a burial like that and he didn't. But again, it's just so frustrating that it's still contested. It's suggested by a lot of historians that it might not be him, you know, or it may be him. They can't make their mind up, but they're not putting any other names forward, right? So of course it's him, isn't it? When all the clues are there, they're still trying to deny our history to us in the face of all evidence. And it's, oh my word. Yeah, they just don't want to be the one that sticks their neck out and says, oh, this was Raedwald, right? In case, like, another 4 or 5 historians, maybe who are quite well known, decide to contest them, and then they think they're going to look stupid, don't they? It's our duty as Anglo-Saxons, it's our duty as Englishmen to look for ourselves at our history. Right? Research what evidence you can find and draw your own conclusions, because you're not just going to find it through historians, are you? To deny a man, a hero, a warlord, a king like Hengist, right, totally removes him from our bloodline, from our ancestral line. You've got by asking yourself, have you got the right to do that? Someone so well attested, someone so powerful, imagery-wise, that you have got the right to deny him a place in our ancestral line. No Englishman would do that. No Anglo-Saxon heathen would do that. Right, that's my little bit of a rant about that bit. So, just a couple of things. This one's featured in magazine anyway, so I won't hang on about it. Early Anglo-Saxon Kings. This is a good book, it's worth having. I'm not saying how correct or incorrect it is, because it's a study book, it's not a read it story kind of book. Also this one, it's not a bad little book, but to be honest, it's 15 quid. Yeah, so it's not the cheapest little book, but again, easy reading, some good plates in there, and stuff. So there's just a couple of books. Also, believe it or not, I am still avid user of Wikipedia. You can find lots and lots of interesting tips and bits and on Wikipedia, so I do still use it, guys. I will not be ashamed of that. Look things up for yourself, or start getting in groups and discussing this stuff for ourselves. I hope you find this interesting. I hope it enthuses you to want to go out and look a little bit deeper at some of this stuff. Take care out there in Woden's Keep. Drink ale.